Hisense has been causing a stir in the TV scene, dropping their ULED tech that crams awesome picture quality into budget-friendly deals. Now they've turned up the heat with the fresh U7K TV and the revamped U8H. These bad boys are loaded with specs that make you question if they accidentally slapped the wrong price tag on them. We're talking quantum dot colors that pop like crazy, deep blacks thanks to mini LED backlighting, and gaming skills that put others to shame. In this video, we're throwing these bad boys into the ring to see if Hisense's mid-range TVs can really throw down top-tier performance. Who's going to win the color, contrast, motion handling, and just that overall wow factor? Can the U7K catch up to the U8H? We're breaking down all the important specs so you know exactly how these TVs measure up. One of these is about to snatch the crown for the new bang for your buck king. Let's do this! Let's kick things off by taking a closer look at how these two TVs are built, what connectivity options they offer, and how that sleek design is going to look in your living space. Right off the bat, when unboxing these TVs, you can already see Hisense stepping up their game with the U7K, making it feel all fancy compared to the U8H. Thinner bezels, a slick arched cutout on the back, and a brushed metal vibe, they really spiced things up. Now, when it comes to plugging in your gadgets, both models sport 4 HDMI ports, which is awesome. Both the 65-inch U8H and U7K have 2 HDMI 2.1 ports. But here's the kicker for the U7K. One of those HDMI 2.1 ports pulls double duty as the eARC port. So if you hook up a soundbar, you sacrifice one HDMI 2.1 port. Bit of a trade-off there. But hey, if you're a hardcore gamer aiming at peak performance with your PS5 or Xbox Series X, both the U8H and U7K are on the same playing field. Upgraded to HDMI 2.1 with 4K at 144Hz variable refresh rate and auto low latency mode, they're packing some serious gaming firepower. Now, checking out the looks, both TVs are rocking that sleek, almost bezel-less vibe. The U8H goes for the wide legs, while the U7K keeps it simple with a single central stand. The U7K's stand is a bit convenient though, perfect for if you're short on space or planning to drop a soundbar without any hassle. So in the style and build department, the U7K takes the slight lead, but it's not a massive game changer. Next up, let's dig into picture quality and performance to spot some real differences. Alright, this is where things get really exciting as we dive into the display specs and picture quality performance of these two awesome 4K ULED TVs from Hisense. So let's start with the basics. Both of these bad boys pack a punch with 144Hz native refresh rate 4K panels. Now, when we talk about brightness, the U7K throws down 1000 nits while the U8H steps it up to 1500 nits. But where the real showdown happens is in the backlight dimming zones. The 65-inch U8H rocks 504 dimming zones, dialing in brightness across the screen for crisper dark scenes. Now, the U7K doesn't mess around. It flexes with a whopping 1296 dimming zones on that same 65-inch screen. Translation? It can tweak brightness in way smaller chunks, delivering killer contrast and black levels. In the real world, the U7K hits a contrast ratio over 5,000 to 1 and can push it to over 45,000 to 1 with dimming cranked up. Shadows, night shots, and mood-lit scenes come alive on the U7K, leaving the U8H in the dust with less inky blacks and more gray vibes in the dark scenes. Now, let's talk motion and backlight quality. The U7K dominates with smoother motion thanks to the upgraded MEMC tech and no annoying blooming around bright stuff on the screen. The U8H struggles a bit to keep up in these departments. And don't even get me started on HDR highlights. The U7K throws punches that hit harder. Sure, the U8H holds its own, it's a bit brighter, but the U7K is like a next-level jump in picture quality. More depth and killer black levels. This mid-range display is seriously turning heads. Moving on to the smart TV and special features side of things, again we see the U7K model providing some nice improvements. For the smart TV platform, both TVs roll with Hisense's own Vita operating system, which in my book is speedy and snappy. It's got all the major streaming apps and the layout and performance are pretty much a mirror image on both. Now here's where the U7K steps it up. It comes with a better backlit voice control and an improved hands-free Google Assistant right through the TV. You can boss your TV around with voice commands. launch apps, hunt down content, control playback, all without fumbling for the remote. Seriously handy for those lazy TV days. And here's a slick software improvement by Hisense on the U7K, a custom calibration feature. It fine-tunes color, contrast, and motion based on your specific setup. Since everyone's living room is a bit different, this tailored tuning jazz can really make a noticeable difference. Makes getting that top-notch picture quality out of the box a breeze. Oh, and don't forget the U7K's pumped-up support for Hisense Sports Mode. One click and you're in for smoother, more dynamic visuals for higher-speed sports action. Boosted refresh rate, specialized color, and contrast settings. Perfect for those epic game days or catching all the action in different sports. Alright, let's dive into the gaming side of things for these two cool 4K TVs. Gaming is a big deal for most TV shoppers nowadays, especially with the latest consoles and graphics cards pushing the limits. Now, when it comes to gaming, the newer U7K model takes the lead thanks to those souped-up HDMI 2.1 ports that bring some awesome next-gen gaming features right out of the box. We're talking 4K gaming at 120 frames per second, variable refresh rate, and fast response times through auto-low latency mode. These are all game changers, making gameplay super smooth, responsive, and visually stable. Whether you're into COD, Halo Infinite, Forza Horizon, or Spider-Man Miles Morales, the U7K is consistently more fine-tuned for gaming. It nails crazy fast input response, serves up ultra-smooth, tear-free visuals even during intense battles and high-speed drives. Plus, the colors are spot on. Now, the U8H still holds its own in gaming, offering decent performance and supporting 120 FPS, but there's a bit more manual tweaking involved. You've got to set the HDMI input to enhanced format and toggle on variable refresh rate and other settings every time. It's not as seamless as the U7K, which just kicks in all the good stuff automatically when you fire up your console. Remember the high contrast and improved uniformity we talked about earlier? Well, they make a difference in gaming too, boosting detail and image depth on the U7K. It adds more life to those virtual worlds. So if gaming is a deal breaker for you, especially with the latest consoles in play, the U7K is the way to go for a smoother, more impressive experience. Now let's chat about the sound situation. The soundstage and action scenes pack a decent punch through the TV's built-in speakers. Overall, volume can crank up pretty high, perfect for filling a small to mid-sized room without getting all fuzzy and distorted. So the internal speakers deliver a pretty similar performance. I have to give a shout out to the U7K for its improved cool audio feature, Dolby Atmos decoding and spatial audio through those speakers pointing upwards. It uses more fancy sound processing capabilities to make the soundstage taller and more three-dimensional, so you get a bit more of an immersive vibe compared to the regular stereo sound. But honestly, if you're really into your audio game, I'd recommend hooking up either of these TVs with an external soundbar for that top-notch room-filling sound. The built-in speakers do their job, but if you're an AV enthusiast, thinking about upgrading your audio down the line is a smart move. Okay, just before we crown a winner, let's chat about the money side of things between the U7K and U8H. Both of these TVs are hanging in there with some pretty competitive prices in their respective lineups. The U8H is rolling at $898 for the 65-inch version, and the U7K is a bit lighter on the wallet, starting at $698, which is $200 less. And there you have it, guys. After comparing the U8H and the U7K across key categories from picture quality to features and gaming metrics, the Hisense U7K undoubtedly comes out as the superior TV overall by a noticeable margin. With killer contrast and those mini LED dimming zones, the U7K serves up an impressive 4K image, and get this, it's all packed in at a sweet price, just under $700 for the 65-inch. Talk about a steal for that kind of quality. Now, the U8H is no slouch, but the U7K feels like a legit next-gen upgrade, fixing up some things from the U8H for an all-round better performance. It's giving major bang for your buck, especially compared to other big-shot flagships. So, in the Hisense U8H vs U7K showdown, the U7K snags the title of new picture quality champ. If you want more information and the latest prices, check out the links down in the description. And hey, drop a comment and let me know which TV you guys think looks more interesting. Oh, and don't forget to smash that subscribe button for more epic tech battles like this one. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next video.